Hi guys, I just wanted to make a brief video to demonstrate where we are with the esportsref DAP solution. It's been a while since I've provided any updates. I know you guys are keen to see where we are with this. It's still being developed. We're not quite there yet, but I think we're making good progress. So this video is mainly here just to provide you guys an idea of where we are at this stage. There's probably going to be a few glitches and bugs as I go through this demonstration video, because we're not quite there yet. You have to bear in mind this is still an alpha version of the software of the DAP. There's still stuff going on in the background which we need to fix, but I just wanted to, as I say, make this video just so you can at least see with your own eyes where we are with this. So you're going to need to use your imagination a little bit as I go through this video, because it's just me creating the video, and typically if you were to use this DAP in the real world, you'd have at least 3 participants. So you'd have a player 1, a player 2, who are obviously competing against one another, and you'd have a referee. So I'm going to play the part of all 3 people as I go through the video, and I will explain that as I do it. But as I say, you just need to use your imagination a little bit, because you know I'm taking on the role of all 3 people here. Also, just to make this work a little bit better, what I've actually done is, if you can see on my desktop, I've actually got multiple browsers open at the moment. I've got a Chrome browser, I've got an Edge browser, I've also got a Brave browser. All 3 of these browsers are compatible with MetaMask, which is something I'll need to use as I go through the demonstration. But in order to save me having to constantly switch between accounts, which is going to get very annoying very quickly for me, what I've done is, as I say, I've associated a MetaMask account with each browser, which means I personally can very quickly toggle between these browsers, and I don't need to switch my MetaMask account every time I do that. So it's really just to speed things up. Okay, so without further ado, you can see on the screen now, this is the homepage. It's gonna be optimized, it's gonna be tidied up, prettified, so to speak, as we move along. But the main things myself and the developer have been working on over the past few weeks are actually just kind of getting the kind of logic, the core logic behind the DAP working, functioning correctly. So just kind of bear in mind that it's not going to be the prettiest looking website you'll ever see. That's something for the final version when we eventually release it. For now, all focus is on functionality. So just please bear that in mind. You know, this isn't how it's going to look, the final version, but it's just to give you an idea. So obviously, this is the home page. It kind of provides information on the various game streaming services that are available, and the biggest 3 in the market at the moment are Twitch, YouTube Gaming, and Facebook Gaming. There's some information regarding, you know, how the esportsref solution works, some details on the high performance blockchain network, what we're trying to achieve, what a typical user can expect when they use our services, a couple of videos, a bit more information, yada yada yada. But as I say, it's all going to be optimized, it's all going to be tweaked as we move forward. But I really just want to kind of demonstrate how you would interact with this DAP. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to log in. So if I just click login here, I'll actually get rid of that. In fact, before I do that, let me just show you the signing up page, as though, you know, I was going to create a brand new account. So you can actually create a player account or a referee account. If you create a player account, then you can create your own username, and then obviously fill in all the rest of the details. For KYC reasons, you'd actually be expected to upload a passport or a driver's license just to prove you're over 18, because obviously in certain territories, in fact most territories, you wouldn't be able to use these services unless you were at least 18 years of age. So yeah, you typically fill this out, you then upload a passport or driver's license, and you sign up. If you register as a referee, a username actually will be generated on your behalf automatically. You don't actually decide on a username. So the system itself will just generate one for you. And part of the reason we do that is basically we don't feel that the players need to know too much about the referees. The whole point of this service is that, you know, referees are selected you know, randomly. They need to be kind of impartial and unbiased, and therefore why does a player need to know that much information about a referee? So a referee, as I say, gets kind of an automated username. So yeah, you'd fill in all this information, you'd sign up, and then our admins would receive a message to say, you know, please can you check this information that's been sent. Basically, as an admin, what I would do is I'd receive an image of this passport or driver's license. I'd see all this account information. I'd want to check it all kind of matches up, and just look for anything that just doesn't look right. I then get the option to approve or reject the account, and obviously the person signing up is then informed via email. Okay, so that was the registration page. If I just go back to login again, so I'm actually going to sign in on this account as JP1. I'll just quickly do that now. Sign in. Sorry. Should pay attention there. It's asking me for an email address, not a username. So what was it here? Okay. So once I log in, I've already obviously been registered and approved. I'll go to this compete page, but before I start to generate a game contract or anything like that, I'll just quickly show you what you can see in your profile. So yeah, here's your profile page. It gives you details on what your HPB wallet is. If I actually click on that link, that would just take me to HPB scan, just so I can kind of verify you know, any of my account information here if I want to. But let me just close that. Right, yeah, so it's going to tell me what my coin balance is, my ESR token balance is. If I've got a 0 HPB coin balance or a 0 ESR token balance, then a warning will come up just to say you've got a 0 balance. You need obviously a non-zero balance to be able to create games and challenge people. So, but yeah, as you can see, I've got HPB coin and ESR tokens, so that's not an issue. If you wanted to change your email address, you can just kind of click here, your password, you can click here, change that. For a future feature that we're going to look into, which will be to kind of search for other players as we kind of develop and evolve this solution. You'll also be able to search for players based upon various IDs associated with these accounts. So, you know, you could search for someone based upon their Facebook username, YouTube username, Xbox, PlayStation Network, Nintendo, Steam, Epic, etc., etc., etc. And you just type in your details there, blah 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 blah, blah. And yeah, you'll be able to search for these. But at the moment, you can just search by the player ID. So yeah, this will be incorporated into the solution soon. We've also got game statistics, which is a solution which I really like the idea of, and it's something I originally proposed to my developer. I had no idea, slightly naively, how complicated something like this is to actually implement, and yeah, that's going to take a while to incorporate that part of the solution. So yeah, we need to be patient in terms of game statistics information being relayed back to the website, but it will come. It will come. So yeah, obviously we've got an FAQ section which just answers questions, popular games. This kind, this just kind of talks about what the most popular games on the market at the moment, and kind of go through that. some information on what's involved with becoming a referee. If you want to sign up as a referee, is an opportunity to earn some cash, or some crypto, should I say, rather than cash. And yeah, if I just go back into my profile, at the moment you can also change your avatar. So I've just grabbed a random one, but there will be more. Let's change that to, let's go with teddy bear. Yeah, okay. Right, so yeah, this is your profile page, and I guess the main thing you want to do to begin with is actually challenge someone to a game, an online game, and actually win some crypto. So let's show you how that would work. So we go to the compete page. This provides you some information here. When the final version is released, you'll have the opportunity to challenge someone for HPB coin, for ESR tokens, and also for the specialist ESR NFT prize. That's going to take a while. That's a bit more complicated. So at the moment, it's just these first two options that are available during the alpha, but we will look to incorporate this as time goes by. So let's just give you an example. So we're going to create a new HPB game contract. So I'll click on this button here. It's actually told me you've already created a game contract. Are you sure you want to create another one? I'll create a brand new one rather than referring to the last one that I made. So I'll create that. And as you'll see, my MetaMask window has popped up, which is asking me, do I want to proceed with this and effectively create a new smart contract specifically for this game. So I'll click confirm. I just need to wait a few seconds now because obviously this is being submitted to the HPB blockchain. So I'll just give it a few seconds. Obviously part of the reason we're all involved with HPB is speed, so we don't have to wait too long, so that's good. So the transaction was confirmed, and I've now got a brand new smart contract, gaming smart contract, that I can click on to interact with. So that's my new gaming contract, and if I was to paste that into HPB scan, you'll see that's actually in there as well. So let me just click on that. Okay, so this takes me into the contract interaction page with a chat window. So I'm in here on my own at the moment, obviously. So the first thing I want to do is I want to challenge another player. So this search bar here, you eventually will be able to just kind of search for anyone. You will also be able to search for, their PlayStation Network ID or their Facebook ID or their Nintendo ID or Twitch ID or anything like that. But that's something we're kind of developing in the background. So in terms of simplicity at the moment, you can just kind of search for user names. So if I just bring down the drop down menu, it says here that I've got a couple of players I can choose from. As you'll see, I'm JP1. The other players that have been created, accounts that have been created, are these two. Now before I select this player, I'm just going to switch now to the Edge browser, and I'm going to log in as JP2 so you can see what happens. So I'm JP1 here at the moment, and I'm in the Chrome browser. So I'm now going to switch to Edge, and I'm going to log in as JP2 over here. Okay, so as you can see, JP2 in Edge, JP1 in Chrome. Right, so let's imagine I'm JP1 and I want to challenge my good friend JP2, who I've played a few times before, and I want to see if he fancies a game of Pro Evolution Soccer. So I'll select JP2 and I'll send him an invite. So it says the invitation has been sent to JP2. So now if I just switch back to the Edge browser, you can now see that I've just been sent an invitation to join the game. So player JP1 has invited you to the game. I can either reject that invitation or I can accept it, but obviously for the purpose of this demonstration I want to accept it so you can see what happens. So let's click accept, and I've now joined the chat window. So as part of the the group. JP1 is in the chat and JP2 is in the chat, and so I'm JP2. So let's send the message to JP1. So as I say, you need to use your imagination a little bit here. Hi JP1. Good to hear from you. And then I'll go back to Chrome, and I've just got that message from JP2. Hi JP1, good to hear from you. And I'll put, yeah, good to hear from you too. Do you fancy a game of PES 2021? Go back to Edge. Sounds good. Yeah. Let's do it. Switch back again. How about we play for 5 HPV? Go back again. Sounds good to me. Okay, so the two players have kind of agreed. Let me just switch back to player 1 here. Two players have agreed on an amount and ready to kind of go. So as player 1, I'm going to state that I'm ready to proceed. So I'll click there. So as you can see, it's interesting. Okay, so I've spotted a small bug here. As I said right at the start of the video, there may be bugs as I go along, and I've just spotted one myself as I've done this. It's basically, as I've clicked player 1 is ready, it's telling me that player 2 is ready, but player 2 hasn't clicked on his button yet, so that's something I need to speak to my developer about. But let me just switch back to Edge browser. Okay, so I've clicked on it now, but obviously when I was back in Chrome, that should not have stated that player 2 was ready, because he wasn't. Yeah, so anyway, for the purposes of the video, I'll carry on. So now it wants me to specify a game name. So, and this is going to be written to the smart contract, by the way. So this will be embedded forever within that smart contract. So we're going to call it PES 2021, and we're going to play for 5 HPB. So let me deposit that into the smart contract. So it's telling me I'm about to deposit 5 HPB plus a very small transactional gas fee as well. So let me click on that. Okay, so that's successful. First deposit successful, and the game name is registered. So it's now telling me player 2 is now going to deposit. So if I switch back to the Edge browser, it's now prompting me as player 2 to now deposit an equal amount. So I'll click deposit your HPB. And as I say, because we agreed on 5, player 1 has already deposited 5 HPB, so I'm going to do the same thing as a different account. So confirm that. Okay, so now that both players have deposited an amount of HPB, the random number generator that's part of HPB has actually generated a random number, a provable random number on the blockchain for me. And this number is 158895. Now there's a calculation involved which is going to utilize that number in order to select a referee. Now whilst we're developing, I will let you know that I've actually registered 10 referee accounts. As I say, this is purely for testing, so I've got 10 referee accounts registered. Now what I need to do is actually determine which referee account the invitation will have gone to. So I know this calculation. I'm not quite sure if it's a good idea just yet for me to explain how that calculation works, but I will demonstrate it working nonetheless. So if you just bear with me 1 second. What's the best way to do this? Just bear with me 1 second. Tab. If I can move that across to there. Yeah, I think it's going to work. Okay, right. So just bear with me 1 second. Okay, right. So I know the invitation will have gone to referee number 6. As I say, I think I'll explain that later on how it's derived that referee ID from this random number. But just for now, you're going to have to take my word for it. It's referee number 6. So what I'll do, just to demonstrate that, I'm actually now going to switch to the Brave browser, so my third browser. And I'm going to log in as... in fact, before I log into referee number 6, let me just log into another one, referee number 4, just for example. So I'm on referee number 4. There's no invitation or anything like that that's popped up. I wouldn't have received an email because I'm not the right referee. So let me just log out. I'm now going to switch back to what should be the correct referee, which is referee number 6. And yes, so we've been the referee's been invited to the game, so to act as referee. So I'll click accept. Okay, and now it's possibly another bug that should have disappeared when I click that, but I'll speak to my developer about that tomorrow. Anyway, ignore that for the moment. So the referee's now joined into the chat window, and literally as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing more bugs, which is it's hopefully you guys can realise just at face value, whilst this project kind of seems simple and straightforward, the coding behind it is very complicated. So yeah, I am finding bugs as I go along. Another bug that I've just kind of noticed is it's not showing JP2. So all 3 participants are in the chat window now, but it's not actually showing that. But anyway, ignore that again for the moment. And what I'll do is I will send a message to JP1 and JP2 just to introduce myself. So, hi guys, I'll be your referee today. Hope you're both well. I'll just switch back to, let's say, player 1. So player 1's got that message, and then switch to player 2. Player 2's got that message as well. So I'm back in as JP1 in the Chrome browser, so I'll just say, hi ref, we're good to start if you are. And then I'll go back to the Brave browser where I'm logged in as the referee, and yeah, I'm good to go. So let's join myself into this smart contract. So I'm registered as a referee variable on the smart contract. So I'll click join contract. And I'll click confirm. And what that's actually doing is my referee wallet address is now being allocated to one of the variables within the smart contract that basically says that this wallet address will take ownership of the withdrawal process on the smart contract. So the owner of this wallet address is the person that ultimately determines who wins the game and who should be paid out. Okay? So let's go back to player 1, who needs to confirm that they're ready. Now, what you'll notice actually here is that you do actually need to write to the smart contract at this stage to show that you're ready, because we haven't actually added the button in yet, but there will be a get out button, one final get out button if you just want to cancel and you don't want to proceed. So because we don't have that in there at the moment, it's difficult to kind of explain this, but essentially you need to tell the smart contract that you are willing to proceed and allow the referee to take full control of the funds. So yeah, I need to write that into the smart contract. So player 1, I will confirm that. I'll also need to do the same thing as player 2, so if I just switch to the Edge browser, that transaction from player 1 still hasn't gone through yet, I don't believe, so I'll just wait for a second, because this should switch to ready once it's done. Yes, player 1 is ready. Okay, so let me now go to player 2. Player 2's got to do the exact same thing. So I'll just write to the smart contract. I'll confirm as player 2, I'm ready. I think as we move forwards, we kind of get to a final version, there's going to be more information presented on the screen, just to give you a better understanding of what's going on here, just in case it isn't obvious to everyone what's going on in the background whilst we're waiting for the smart contract to be written to. So as I say, it's going to be tidied up, it's going to be made to look prettier than it is now, but yeah, bear with. So yeah, finally I now need to write finally once more as a referee to that contract to take full control of that contract. So now as a referee, I'll just move that so you can see, it's referee 6, I'll confirm that. If we just give that a second. Okay, so what you'll see is 3 buttons here. Quite straightforward. I'm the referee. I now decide, did player 1 win, was it a draw, or did player 2 win? If I switch back to one of the players, you can see 1 button here, which is I give up. So at any stage, if you don't want to if you want to concede, basically, at any stage, you can just click this button, and it actually doesn't matter what the referee decision provides. You can just say, look, I'm fed up. I'm playing a game of football. I'm losing terribly. There's still 75 minutes to go in the game, and I just want to leave. So, rather than wait for my opposing player to have to wait for the referee to, make his decision after 90 minutes. I'll just be a good sportsman, I'll just give up. So I'll click on the button and the funds will be released to the opposite player. The same goes for player 2. So, if you want to be a good sportsman, you're losing badly, and maybe you just want to move on to another game to play someone else, you can just say, look, I'll give up, click on that, and the smart contract will allow the opposite player to receive the funds. So assuming you don't do that, and you genuinely want to play, if I just go back to the referees page in the Brave browser, he's now got control. He can make a decision. So I guess at this stage, or possibly even before we get to this stage, it's worth one of the players just kind of saying, right, so how are you going to watch this game? So we're gonna stream it live via Twitch, and I've just kind of prepared one just for the purposes of kind of demonstrating this video. But here's a little game that I've set up. So I'll copy my Twitch details here and say, here's the Twitch live stream, and then stick it in there. I've just noticed another small bug, which is that I've typed in the URL and it's not automatically converted it to a clickable link. So let me just make a quick note of that. That's another thing the developer needs to look at. Okay, so you just have to imagine, you know, as a referee, you could click on that. So for now, I'll just kind of copy it, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, if I just went up to a new window. You know, everyone would join the stream chat, so you can also chat in stream as well. And I've kind of got, I think I've got that game on. You know, everyone would join the stream chat, so you can also chat in stream as well. And I've just kind of got to demonstrate the game, show everyone would join the stream chat. Where are we? So just to just kind of demonstrate the game, show everyone. Right, so hopefully, I'm actually playing the game on my PC, and I'm hoping the stream. So hopefully, I'm actually playing the game on, just so you can kind of see this. Yeah, so this
we're on the way. So, Jim, tell me this, who are you looking for in particular here? We're on the way.
The goalkeeper, Wojciech Szczesny, Peter. He's got incredible reflexes, and that makes him one of the best shot stoppers around. He's also very comfortable when he's under the high ball or coming out for crosses. And having someone like that just easing the pressure on that defence can spread confidence very quickly. Having someone like that
getting the best out of him will count for so much.
Can spread confidence very quickly. Having someone like that
getting the best out of him will count for so much.
Can spread confidence very quickly.
So that's because it's looping through the audio, you know, never-ending loop. Well, let's just say it kind of gets to the end of the game. Player one wins. You know, well done, player one. Let's just say it kind of gets to the end of the game. Player one wins. You know, well done, player one. Let's just say it kind of gets to the end of the game. Player one wins. You know, well done, player one. Saves that. Right. Okay. So yeah, well done, player one. Player one's won. And as a referee, I'm now going to award the HPB to player one. So I'd click player one wins. Confirm that. And now that I've done that, there's a 10-minute window for either player one or player two to dispute this result. So, you know, if you feel that and obviously there's the timer that's just popped up as well, so there's 10 minutes left to dispute this. So if I'm a referee, I've said it's player one, but you know, player two just thinks, no way, you know, I won that game, it wasn't player one, I won it, this is nonsense, you know, I want an admin to review this. What they could do is they could dispute the result. So obviously the ref's just awarded it to player one, but if I go into player two's account, you could actually click this button to dispute it. And what that's going to do is that's going to, in fact, I'll just demonstrate that. So I'll click on that now. I wish to dispute the result. First thing it's going to do is actually just write to the smart contract to say, you know, hold on a minute, you know, stop the timer, so to speak. This needs to be looked at. So yeah, I'm writing to the smart contract to say, look, I want this reviewed because I don't think this was fair. So I'll just write that now. I'll just give it a few seconds to write to the smart contract. Okay, right, cool. So it's just written that to the smart contract. So it's just saying, look, you've chosen to dispute this result. If you wish to supply any further information to the admins to support your case, please add it below. And here's my opportunity to say, look, please check the Twitch stream at the 90th minute. You'll see that I actually won this game not player 1. And then you could send this email to admins, and what's going to happen is, as an admin, we'd receive, not only would we receive this note, but we'd also receive a copy of this entire chat window. So within the chat window, we'll see what the Twitch stream was. We'll see if, you know, if there was any specific rules or anything else that was agreed upon between the two players, and take that into account, factor that in as well. But yeah, basically we'll send this to admins, and it's now going to say, look, the smart contract's on hold for up to 24 hours now. The admins, just spotted a typo there, I'll get that fixed. The admins will now dispute the material. You'll receive an email once a decision has been made. And so at this point now, because this has been sent to admins, the admins can actually override the result if they feel the referee has been completely unfair. So as an admin, you've kind of got a couple of options here. You can, if you believe the referee was unfair after studying the information provided, what you can do is you can actually award the funds, the HPB coin, to player 2. If you believe that player 2 won it and the referee was talking nonsense, you can, as I say, you can award player 2. What you can also do is mark referee number 6 or the referee with a warning, basically to say, look, you know, you've made a mistake here. These are the reasons we feel like you've made a mistake. If it happens again, we may actually look to bar you. And obviously, when you register, you need to provide, you know, all of your information, your registration details, your wallet, etc. So it would actually be quite difficult for someone who got barred to re-register, because they wouldn't have, you know, well, you'd like to think they wouldn't have another driver's license or another passport that they could use to register. So, you know, we can make that decision. We can either give them a warning, and if they're repeat offenders, we'll just ban them. On the other hand, if we find that players are disputing the results just out of spite, and that could be the case, you know, player 2 has just raised a dispute. We look at the material, and it's actually player 2 that's being out of order here. Player 1 did win fair and square. There was no issues. The referee got it spot on, no problems at all. We can do the same thing to the players. So we can warn a player and just say, look, you know, please don't waste our time. You know, it does takes a short amount of time to review the material, but if you're going to keep doing that and you're going to tell us, you know, the result was wrong when in fact it was perfectly legitimate and the referee got it correct, you know, we'll warn you, but if you're a repeat offender, we'll actually bar you and your HPB wallet account as well, so you can't ever use the service again. So yes, there's different ways as admin we can approach this. And I guess that's kind of how it works, really, as an overview. So, as I say, you register as a player or as a referee. If you're a player, you invite other players to join a chat. You agree within the chat window what game you're going to play and how much for. You then deposit your HPB or your ESR tokens into a smart contract that's generated. A referee is then invited using the random number generated from the blockchain. The referee then takes ownership of, control of the smart contract and decides who the winner is. And you can then either agree on the result or dispute it. And as you will have noticed, there was a countdown timer for 10 minutes. What you can actually do is just let that count right down to 0. Another thing that I've just thought of that we haven't added yet is also another button just below or next to the dispute button, which is actually just a button just to speed the whole thing up and say, yeah, the referee was right, release the funds immediately. The other guy doesn't need to wait 10 minutes, that's silly. Release the funds immediately. I don't need 10 minutes to dispute because I'm not going to dispute. So we'll add that button in as well. That's just another thing I need to make my developer aware of. But yeah, that's basically it. As I say, it's a little bit buggy, as you will have noticed. It's not the prettiest site to look at. but you know, we're getting there. I genuinely wish we would have made more progress than we have, but various factors have kind of come into play over the last few months, and as I've always said, you know, this isn't my primary job either. I do have believe it or not, I have a 9 to 5 day job, which I have to do to pay the bills. I've got a young family myself to support, so that has to be the priority at the moment. I genuinely wish I could devote all of my time to blockchain and developing smart contracts and dApps, but I just can't at the moment. So yeah, as I say, progress isn't as speedy, as rapid as I'd like it to be right now, but we're moving along. You know, we're getting there. So hopefully this video demonstrates, you know, this hasn't been forgotten about. You know, it's still very much being developed in the background, and you know, as the weeks are going to go by, this is going to get refined, made to look far prettier than it is, and then we'll kind of get to a stage where for a group of people we'll look to really try and find any bugs that I personally can't find or the developer can't find, and yeah, and then we'll go from there. But as I say, we're making progress. So I hope you enjoyed the update. If you've got any comments or questions or suggestions, feedback of any type, just reach out to me on the esportsref Telegram page. You know, I'm always happy to speak to you guys individually or as a group. Unfortunately, I don't have as much time to do that at the moment as I'd like, so apologies if I haven't been around in the Telegram quite as much as I'd like to have been, but I am very busy doing lots of things in the background. But yes, I'll speak to you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers.